Whenever you're ready.
Great. So we have 7 children who range in age from 3 to almost 18. And our son Ander in the middle is 12 going on 13. I was homeschooling. I have an education background, but I was homeschooling the kids. The spring that he was going to turn 6, I brought him to the school district and had him assessed, and they said he has an unspecified learning disability, you know. And so they gave him an IEP, and they encouraged me to place him in a special kindergarten program for children who have learning language issues. That was really hard for him emotionally, actually, because he was the only one going out of the home, and he was gone all day. So he went from being home all day to going out of the home all day and feeling like something was wrong with him. So that was pretty heartbreaking for me as a mom. But he did begin to make some progress there. He had gone through almost 3 years of a very popular language learning phonics program. It was painful. We worked for probably 2 hours a day to get through a lesson, and there didn't seem to be any retention of anything that we were working on with him. I guess he was 11. He should have been, and he tested at a pre-K4 level, and I was just like, what do I do? When you're 5, there's not a large amount of skills that you're supposed to have, a huge body of knowledge that you're supposed to have, because everyone is kind of here. But if you don't progress and the kids all around you are progressing, then your lack of skills becomes more noticeable. So as he got older, it became more and more apparent to us that it wasn't that we weren't doing any of these programs perfectly, but more just that there was something else going on that the program couldn't address neurologically. Last spring was looking for a comparable program here in Baltimore. I came upon Kate's website, the Brain Trained in Maryland website, and he had been doing the dyslexia program for, I guess, about 7 months, and he was seeing some progress, but I knew that we still needed that other piece if he was going to be really successful. And so I signed up to come in and meet with Kate and have her do an assessment on him in hopes of maybe doing a summer program with him. And that's kind of where our journey with brain training started.
And so I had fun with it and did really well, and it was great to get some encouragement. Boy, you must be in music or something like that. Well, no, I don't know. But then in contrast, to see Andrew do it and see him do so poorly was very indicative of the work that he had to do. But of course he was drawn to this right away. I mean, it's interactive, and the environment was so welcoming. And so he looked forward to being a part of this. It wasn't intimidating for him.
I think one of the things that we didn't expect is that he actually became a lot more self-confident and a lot more self-aware.
He's much more comfortable socially as well. He's able to go out and introduce himself to other kids and welcome kids who are outside the group into the group. That's been a great thing to see.
So at the end of the summer, we saw this social. He had a crush on a girl at school, and we were like, what? I mean, that's what 12-year-old boys are supposed to have, but it was just so shocking to see him banter with this girl. I was just like, oh my gosh, what's happening to him? His natural extroversion is coming out more as a result of brain training. You know, that's all that's changed is the brain training. So we can say, you know, any progress we've seen is because of that, because we haven't done something different besides that. From the beginning of the school year, he is much more successful in reading tasks, can understand the way sentences are structured in ways that he never could before. And since doing this program, he's reading whole sentences, he's remembering the words that he read the sentence before. He's starting to make inferences about what's going to happen in the story and make guesses about the words given the context of the story. It's still really hard for him. We still, you know, Kate says we still have probably about a year to go. But the fact that you can even talk about that kind of disability and that way, that there's hope that he is not always going to be struggling in the same way, is different than anything anyone else will tell you. The regular interventions for somebody with an auditory processing disorder, you know, don't involve healing at the end. You know, the regular prognosis is, okay, we're going to mic you to the teacher so you don't miss something. You know, that doesn't address the underlying issue in the child's brain. And we've always believed that the brain can be healed. You know, we've believed that this doesn't have to be permanent. That there are gifts that come with these differences or disabilities, but then there is also a downside to it that we want to address. We're really encouraged by the progress he's made, and are hopeful for his future because of the difference that the brain training therapies have made for him.
So my encouragement for somebody who finds themselves in the same position where we were is that you don't have to keep on trying the same thing that's not working and trying it hard, hoping to get better results. That there are alternatives out there. And we were so grateful to find Brain Training of Maryland and to find not only another option out there, but one that seemed to open up a whole new world of opportunities. And to hear Kate describe her methodology and what her goals were, and to be able to be so specific and articulate about that, convinced us that if we were not to give Brain Training of Maryland a try, then we'd be closing our eyes on a very significant opportunity.